Our next guests are doing both. Zapata AI, a Boston-based startup out of Harvard University, is going public via a SPAC following a merger with former IndyCar driver Michael Andretti's firm, valuing the total company at about $200 million. Zapata's software helps racing teams model where a car's tires are sliding on the track, which is very important in terms of adjusting certain functions to shave tenths off every lap. I'm joined by Michael Andretti as well as Zapata AI CIO Christopher Savoie, and it's great talking to you guys. I have to start with a question, Michael, about your company, your family company, and F1, because when I was teasing the slot coming up, I got a message from a viewer who said a lot of stories going around that Andretti will get FIA approval to be the 11th team in F1. God, I hope so. What's the state of that challenge?
God, I hope so. We're not there yet. We're working, we are waiting for the FIA to give their decision on what they're going to do in that area. We're hoping that, we get an answer here soon. But, we feel pretty good about it, but you never know until it's done. But if this comes through, it's going to be very exciting for us.
Yeah, why do you think it's so hard, especially with, to be fair, such a legendary name, such a legendary brand? It just makes sense to pair with F1. It would help to boost your business and theirs.
Well, we believe in that, along with, bringing General Motors and Cadillac brand as well to the series, I think is huge as well. So, we are a little questioning that. I think overall, though, I think the support is heavy for us, and especially public opinion, which is very important. And so we still feel positive, but again, until it's done, we'll have to just wait and see.
All right. Well, we got that out of the way. Christopher, yeah. I want to ask you about Zapata, what you can do for Andretti. But first, why SPAC? This is something that shareholders have been less excited about recently, and a lot of them, in this case, have already cashed back out. So why would you go public this way?
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, this is about becoming a publicly traded entity. There are other mechanisms to go public, like an IPO, a traditional IPO. There are advantages and disadvantages to all mechanisms. The SPAC we like from a management perspective because we don't have to go out and raise the money. The money is already raised in the trust. And, it can be a real time sink on management to have to go out and raise the money as part of an IPO process, which I've done before. So there's that advantage. It tends to be a cheaper and more expedient way of becoming a publicly traded entity. And for Zapata, becoming what we believe will be the first publicly traded pure play generative AI company, it's an exciting opportunity for us.
You say AI, and that gets everybody obviously listening, but I just came back from Spain where my daughter spent the last couple of months, and I helped her put her Zapatas on every day. What does your company have to do with AI? What do you actually do at Zapata?
We use AI to do numeric analytics. So the racing example is a great one. We are able to predict things that you can't do with sensors on the vehicle. There are lots of sensors on there, but there are no sensors for things like the slip angle of the tires, which feeds into the tire degradation models, which tell us when we should hit a car, for example. And those same numbers can be used in a lot of industrial cases for optimization of manufacturing processes, for optimization of drug discovery, to find the right chemicals. So these are wide-ranging things, and we're unlike ChatGPT and these things that are concentrated mostly on language. We are doing numeric analysis and predictive analytics with the AI.
Michael, you and I come from a time before even throttle by wire, but now it's all about software. How key is software to winning races?
It's very key, and it's going to become even more key. I think to be able to predict, when to pit and things like that is going to win us a lot of races in the future. I'm confident of that. So it's things like that are, going to be very important. And, for us to be teamed up with a company like Zapata is very exciting because we think it's going to be a huge advantage for us in the future.
Christopher, what do you need in terms of data access for your software to work best? Is that the biggest challenge?
I think for all AI, for all machine learning types of applications, you need to start with good data. Garbage in, garbage out. If you don't have good data, fortunately, with the Andretti team, they've been collecting in the IndyCar Series data for years. We have over 20 years of historical data, terabytes of data to start with. So that helps us with our predictivity. So yeah, companies that have data, companies that have joined in this big data revolution and have digitalized their performance are going to have an outsized advantage in this market with AI.
What else are the difficult parts of the business, Christopher? I mean, are programmers, for example, people writing code, difficult to get right now?
This is a challenge, and it's also one of the reasons why going public helps us. We're up against other public companies that have access to the public capital markets, the big tech companies. We're all competing for talent. This talent is not a dime a dozen. These are tough people to get with this training. We have to do more in talent development, I think, in the country to get these people. We're competing not just locally, but internationally and globally. So that is a challenge. We've responded by being globally remote. We hire people all over the world on several continents to do our work, and you have to be flexible that way with your workforce.
Michael, what do you think about the future of racing? I mean, beyond the software technology, it goes to powertrain, right? And we're starting to see new series, Formula E, for example, with the cars. Moto E is what MotoGP is trying in terms of electric racing, but it doesn't move the needle for me, right? I need to hear it. I need to feel it. I need to smell it for it to be exciting. Am I just a dinosaur?
I wouldn't say you're a dinosaur. I think there's a lot of fans that still feel that way. But if you do go and experience, say, a Formula E race, it's quite exciting events. I think you just have to go there with a different frame of mind. But there are other technologies that are out there that could still be the future of racing. Hydrogen is one of them. They just announced the new Extreme H series that's going to come out in 26, which is going to replace Extreme E, which was the electric series in off-road racing around the world. So we look to be a part of that. So, I don't know where it's going. Then you also have biofuels, which is where Formula One is going, where IndyCar is right now. So there's a lot of different ways this could go. There's still, I think there's probably going to be two different types of racing. I can see electric staying around, and I can also see other types of fuels like hydrogen and biotechnology.
All right. Michael and Christopher, great to spend some time with you. Thanks both for joining us. Andretti Acquisition Co-CEO Michael Andretti, as well as Zapata AI CEO Christopher Savoie.